Okay. So we are going to be talking about co-impact sourcing. Now, some people, this room is always a little bit smaller than the other rooms, and it's a little bit frustrating in the sense that I think all of us should understand sourcing before we can do anything else in doTERRA. So I had a really good experience going out on a sourcing trip recently. I got the opportunity on a diamond club trip, and I got to go to Sicily to be able to see the sourcing there. So I'm going to walk you through. A lot of my slides are going to be based on Sicily because it's my personal experience and it's been a wonderful experience. So hopefully. Okay, so the story behind doTERRA essential oils starts long before our essential oil gets to you as a customer. Um, and even before that batch of oil even arrives at doTERRA headquarters. doTERRA begins in places like Madagascar. It's out in Sicily where I was. You've got Nepal, you've got Haiti, and there's dozens of other locations as well. We are working with the growers, the distillers, and the artisans in that work to nurture the seeds, the soil, and the plant, and every single part of our oils that becomes an essential oil for you. Sorry, just move these ones up. Sorry, everything's a little bit out of space. So from the beginning, the story of the bottle of doTERRA essential oil requires help and expertise to care of a global network of professionals who are dedicated to producing a good quality product that they can utilize our gifts of the earth. We have put in co-impact sourcing initiatives that doTERRA has established in order to maintain that it's responsible, its sourcing practices are safe, and we are producing high quality essential oils. Okay, so here's my picture there this time. Score, yes, I rebooted it. Good stuff. So from the beginning, doTERRA has been dedicated to producing high quality essential oils that are responsibly sourced. In order to achieve this goal, doTERRA has created a global botanical network that supports the constant demand for doTERRA essential oils. While using its safe and responsible practices. So while some companies out there choose to buy their own plots of land where they can grow the plants necessary for producing essential oils, doTERRA chooses to rely on the expertise of the growers and the distillers around the world, and many of them whom have decades of experience and specific plants. So instead of just going, right, well, we can grow some lavender over here, let's whack in a field and produce some lavender, we do not do that. We look for the best quality grown lavender that we can find, and then we work with that country. So while the growers and distillers in this global botanical network provide doTERRA with expert knowledge and quality plants, doTERRA then strive to provide excellent job security, fair payment, and other helpful resources. And unfortunately, not all essential oil industries have the same ethics, and they will give poor treatment of the farmers, and it's something that we are going to go through in a second. So not all essential oils are equally created. Now, you might have heard us say that a few times. We always say, well, this is our oil's pure, this oil isn't, or they don't have the same. And that is actually because other companies are not responsible sourcing methods to produce their oils. So like we've mentioned in the past, if you can buy oils really cheap, either they've been produced in situations which aren't fair on the growers, and they've got it at a really cheap price, or it's a fragrance and it is not the oil that you think it is. So when essential oil producers cut corners to save time and money, it is then affecting the farmers, the growers, and the distillers, who are then usually the ones to suffer. Growers and distillers are the ones who do the difficult manual labor required to produce essential oils, yet they are often mistreated and underpaid by essential oil companies. These growers can often find it difficult to find guaranteed buyers to purchase their plants at a fair price, and that causes their businesses to suffer. So these pictures are from when I was out in Sicily recently, and to avoid all of those many pitfalls of essential oil companies, doTERRA have established a co-impact sourcing initiative in growing and distilling communities throughout the world. These initiatives focus on using responsible sourcing practices to produce doTERRA essential oils while working to improve the lives of the people in those growing and distilling communities. As you can see from this picture, this young lady here is heading part of this company now. She was amazing listening to her talk and the passion, and she was so happy to be part and sharing this with us all. She is, if you can see in this picture up here, she is Martina. That is her name. And she is the next generation. And this gentleman sitting behind her is actually her granddad, who is Sandro, who is sitting over here. And he was one of the originals. So what doTERRA do is they actually work with the distillers that are already there so that they can get the best quality and support what's going on already in that country. So we build relationships with the local growers and distillers while improving their lives through products and cooperatives that are designed to fit the needs of each individual community. But simply put, co-impact sourcing is a cooperative effect to work with high quality essential oils while we're impacting and improving the lives of those who help doTERRA effectively and responsibly source our oils. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through. Took me the wrong way. There are 8 principles. So the first one is generating jobs. So we are providing jobs to reduce poverty through essential oil production process in order that we can help the families and the growers and the distillers by being able to give them some self-sufficient economy. And again, this is really important. We work in a lot of third world countries. We then provide fair and on-time payments. This is very, very important. So as mentioned, many growers and distillers are forced to turn to the middleman when they don't have a guaranteed buyer. So if they will grow all of their crop and they will make what they need, and then they've got nobody to sell it to, and then they end up having to sell it extremely cheap, which then isn't fair on them. But doTERRA ensures that partners are paid on time and they're compensated fairly for their hard work. When they partner with doTERRA, growers and distillers will always have a guaranteed buyer. They can receive the fair payments that they need to support their families and their business. doTERRA will often provide prepayments or loans to help sourcing partners manage cash flow and provide them with stable incomes throughout the year. In some areas, doTERRA may even provide food or other commodities as payment, as this can actually be more valuable to them than money. Building supply and capacity is your next one. And this is to help farmers and distillers producers do their best doTERRA consistently, working to support projects and investments that will improve efficiency and strengthen their productivity. So doTERRA helps to build the capacity of the suppliers by providing storage services and facilities for plants, helping with logistics and transportation, and offering helpful technology, providing agricultural training, and much more. And that is so important. Our company is growing, and it's growing fast, which means there is more demand for your essential oil. You sit there at home going, oh, that oil's out of stock. Oh, I can't get my oil. They are the ones on the ground working extremely difficult situations to get you that oil. And doTERRA are factoring that in, that actually we then have to give them the better agricultural machinery to be able to speed up the process so that they are then able to get us our oil. By offering the resources and services to help growers and distillers do their job more effectively and efficiently, doTERRA can not only guarantee the production of their high quality oils, but they also maintain really good relationships with the partners. So that's the next one, long-term relationships. So speaking of partner relationships, doTERRA aim to support small-scale farmers and producers by establishing long-term contracts. This way, the growers and distillers can enjoy the security of having a long-term growth and economic support, while doTERRA can secure their ability to keep up with that constant demand for high-quality oils. We will not we do not want low quality everything we have. So the partnership is based on trust, fair treatment, and mutual respect. And we definitely saw that out in Sicily, working with this family. They were beaming, talking about the way that they produce their oils and obviously what doTERRA do for them. So fair labour conditions. This one is something that I probably used to scoot around a little bit, and it's only really come up to me in the last few years where I've gone, actually, this is really important to think about where our products are even coming from and what's happening behind getting us what we are eating or drinking or using. And one of the problems in essential oil industry is that growers and distillers are often mistreated. This is really sad, and it applies to wages as well as working conditions to ensure that growers and farmers are not exploited, they're not harassed or discriminated against. And doTERRA makes fair labour conditions a top priority. At a minimum, doTERRA partners must comply with national and local laws regarding health and safety, working conditions, and their labour laws too. Then we have protecting cooperatives. So, as part of the co-impact sourcing initiative, doTERRA supports the right of the farmers, the growers, and distillers to form cooperatives, as working together often results in better production processes. By cooperating and collaborating with producers in the growing and distilling community, we can gain access to collectively owned equipment, storage facilities, have greater access to financial tools, and create a smoother process for essential oil production. Then we have our environmental stewardship, because not all essential oil companies are responsible sourcing practices. This is really important. And like we always keep saying, we are different. The oils we have are different. They are pure, and we know that they are pure. And that is doTERRA promotes the use of renewable energy technology and energy efficiency to help minimize greenhouse gas emissions during our essential oil process. It works to minimize the impact of waste during the production and processes, and encourages farmers, growers, and distillers to minimize their environmental impact. To help minimize the carbon footprint, doTERRA believes in employing environmentally responsible tactics at every stage of the essential oil production process. And again, we saw this firsthand. So when we got our green mandarin, the oil is taken, it's cold pressed out of the rind. So that is done, and that we have that as our essential oil. The pulp of the fruit was then made into fruit juices, and then everything left over is then used for bioenergy. So it is all completely used. We don't have any waste product there at all in the Sicily I was about to say distillation, but in the Sicily plant. So I'm not going to talk about Healing Hands there, because we are going to play it at once. I don't want that. Right. So these are just a few of the processes that you can see. You might not be able to hear them, I'm not sure. But this is the green mandarin being washed. Going through, this is one of the first sections that happens. This is us picking some fruit. I actually bought that green mandarin all the way home, and my son tried it and he ate a piece to see what it would taste like. And then next in your distilling inside. Before we even went in there, we had to go and clean our shoes, and we weren't allowed in there. Okay, so let's go to the next one. There we go. Oh, good. They're working this time. So we're going to look at some of those places that we also get our oils from. So obviously Italy isn't just the only place. That's just where I went. So we have frankincense. So frankincense essential oil is derived from the resin of the Boswellia trees by way of a lengthy and difficult harvesting process. Frankincense has been harvested in Somalia for many years, as the sandy soil and the rocky, dry climate are optimal growing conditions for the species. The harvesting of frankincense resin is a delicate process and takes over 5 months to complete. 5 months to be able to harvest it, not grow it, harvest it. So think about that when you're using your frankincense, and when you think about frankincense and how expensive frankincense is, it's that expensive for a reason, because the money is being put back into these growers. It is so precious. It takes so long. We've not just decided to go, oh, we're going to put a high price on that. That's not the case at all. If you can buy frankincense really cheap, one of two things: either the growers are really, really badly treated, or it's not frankincense and it's perfume. Keep that in mind, and keep it in mind coming up to December. Those of you that have orders will know what I mean. So the harvesting of So trees is, sorry, I read that bit. Blah, blah, blah. So frankincense harvesters in Somalia are required to travel far from home to harvest and retrieve frankincense resin in remote locations, after which they bring back the resin back to their communities to be cleaned, separated, and organized into different sizes and colors. And this is generally a responsibility that's given to the women of that community. Unfortunately, many Somalian frankincense harvesters do not receive fair payment for their harvest resin. That even though months of difficult, dedicated work, doTERRA has now established a co-impact sourcing initiative in Somalia to provide frankincense harvesters with fair on-time payments, that they're compensated for their time and their skills. In addition to providing fair payments, doTERRA has also arranged for cleaning and sorting portion of the process to take place as close to the harvest locations as possible, in order to cut down on travel time and keep harvesters from spending too much time away from their families. Because the organising of resin is typically done by women, it is important for them to be close to home so that they can work and also care for their families. Okay, then we're going to talk about Bulgaria. So I'm excited for Bulgaria. I am going out to Bulgaria in June. I have won my legacy trip. I am going out to Bulgaria next June to see the lavender fields. So expect more photos. I'm really excited. In Bulgaria, the co-impact model sourcing is a step further, because doTERRA has opened its own distillery and farming facility where small-scale farmers are eager to produce high-quality essential oils. The distillery is called Esoterri and can be found in the town called Varna near the Black Sea. The Esoterri headquarters are close by in an area called Dobrich, a location which plenty of farmers and individuals in need of work. A large part of the population in Bulgaria lives at or below the poverty line. So a facility like Esoterri has created hundreds of jobs and has made a major impact on people there. For Bulgarian farmers, businesses can be difficult because they must often deal with brokers who do not provide fair payments and rarely pay on time. The Esoterri facility has advanced technology and cutting-edge equipment that makes it easy for skilled farmers and distillers to produce the very best essential oils, giving them reliable work, compensation, and in Bulgaria, it's producing lavender, melissa, coriander, chamomile, yarrow, and juniper berry, as well as others. I'm very excited to go out to Bulgaria. I am not going to lie. So this is your map. So you can find this anyway, but this is the Global Botanical Network map. Again, I used to see this and not think much of it, but I now am extremely excited because I'm going out to these places and it means so much more to me. And in Italy, you have bergamot, green mandarin, and lavender, and that is where we went. So again, I will be excited to go out to Bulgaria, which will be here. Okay, so a little bit on our healing hands. So this is important because doTERRA have a healing hands section, and that healing hands is extremely important to lots and lots of communities. So what they do is we have a charity within doTERRA called Healing Hands where we actually put back into these communities. One of the things you can see down the bottom is the milk canteen, and that was in Bulgaria. But the one we're focusing on at the moment in the UK is Ride High. So this is a charity that we have decided to support. It's in Northamptonshire, which is quite local to me. And it's transforming young people's lives through horses. It supports disadvantaged children aged 6 to 17 whose circumstances and traumas make daily life a struggle. Many find it hard to even engage or communicate. Therefore, traditional counselling is not always an effective approach. Ride High uses horses as a vehicle to connect with children. They get to experience the benefits of physical activity through learning to ride and caring for horses, while also partaking in classroom sessions which aim to develop personal and life skills. So they become very happy, confident young people who positively engage in the outside world. 80% of these children have been referred because they suffer mental health issues. For example, 58% of these children have experienced some form of some part of trauma or self-harm, and 37% of these children have experienced domestic violence. So Ride High provides a safe space for them to share their problems, be themselves, attending each week, providing the children with stability and consistency, sorry, which is often lacking in their day-to-day lives. Ride High is free for all the children, and a minibus service is offered to those who do not have access to their own transport. And the children also receive a meal whilst they are there. Being a completely self-funded charity means fundraising efforts for those in the community are essential for places like Ride High. So what's good to know is your donations help them to continue and offer these life-changing opportunities, but doTERRA are matching the funds. So this happens a lot in doTERRA. So we will match the funds all the way up to £10,000. So if we can raise £10,000, they are actually going to get £20,000. So doTERRA will match what we earn. So this is our local charity, and this is the one that us advocates in the UK at the moment are advertising, and we are doing a lot of work for. So if you do feel like you want to give, or you want to do an event to raise money, then this is one that you can do. Okay, so I'm just going to stop that for 2 seconds. So before we come to an end, if you are building your business with doTERRA, now is the perfect time to secure yourself on a sourcing trip. You don't have to be like high ranks to be able to get sourcing trips. There's lots of different ways for you to win sourcing trips, and don't miss out on the incredible opportunity. Deepen your connection with the community and mission. It's absolutely invaluable. It's changed my view of what happens. I find it so much more important now to understand what happens behind the bottle. So this is a little video from my journey. I don't know if you'll get the sound, but at least you'll get the pictures. Stop working. Sorry, why did it stop working? Sorry, let's try it again. There you go. That is our right. I'm going to stop the share. Lovely. Right. Okay.
Thank you, Sabrina.